Good afternoon, everyone, evening, morning, whatever day it's afternoon, but there you go. It's the 10th of January, and you know who I am by now. I'm going to do another one of my sit and paints, rambles, I call them. And today I think I'm just going to be working on, I know this has been quite tedious of late. I've been painting blood angels. Let me turn the screen around so I can see what I'm actually doing. Come on, that's it. So excuse me. So I'm going to be working on these blood angels. These are another 5 tactical marines that I've got to get finished. Once I get these done, I've got another tactical squad and a chaplain to do, and the company's finished. I've even started on the vehicles as well. That's a rhino, which I'm not too sure I'm very happy with how it's come out, but I'll sort that out another time. Other stuff we've got on my desk is my various World Eater guys who I still haven't done anything with. I've got to undercoat them, and I haven't got round to that yet. Got all my Death Guard stuff lined up, which is actually my Poxwalkers, which I finished earlier this week, and my Death Guard, which are down here. Let's grab the champion, which I finished yesterday. So I'm doing quite well for my painting this year so far. I'm on 22 completed. I mean, I've got my Demon Prince here, the other Death Guard models who I can't even remember what they're called, but there you go. I don't know what that is. It's a skull. Okay, don't need that. My finished Blood Angels from earlier in the year, and yeah, various other little bits. I went through my bits box and I found I've got a load of jump packs, because I've got a load of assault marines who don't have jump packs, and it turns out they were all in there, so I have got them. But yeah, I'm going to concentrate on these Blood Angels today. Start them off, try and get them finished by the start of next week probably, and of course we start with Mephiston Red. So you'll have to excuse me, I'm feeling quite lousy today. For some reason, even though I seem to be getting a lot of sleep, it doesn't feel like I'm sleeping very well. And yeah, I feel a bit lousy at the moment. I'm bunged up and stuff, but it's alright. I ain't got to work, so it can't be man flu. So I'm going to start with giving these guys a thin layer of Mephiston Red, like I always do, and their backpacks, and as well now, the past week hasn't been particularly good. I mean, I've got a lot of painting done, but I haven't done a lot, to be honest, and I find this is me now. I seem to be settling into this rhythm of not really doing anything, and I know I've got to eventually. I'll have to. I'm feeling the need to go back to work, so I'm gonna have to start looking for a job sooner or later. Let's pan that camera up a little bit. That's better. So yeah, so I know I've got to think about getting back to work. I think for my sanity I have to as well. The thing is, the agency that I was working for haven't given me any of my paperwork back, haven't given me my P45, haven't given me my little D certificate, nothing. So I could go back and just work for them straight away, I assume. Whether I want to or not, I don't know. Probably not, but it's the easy option. I could just go straight back into that. Haven't really done anything in looking for other stuff. We've had a lot of stuff on of late with my nan being ill and stuff, you know. So yeah, so I'm not pushing myself to go back before I'm ready. I'm I'm just doing what I want to do, which is nice. But I know that it can't go on forever, so yeah. So I was quite happy that I finished my Death Guard, the 5 Chaos Marines and the Pox Walkers. I've still got a little bit more left to do before next month's stuff comes, which I might get it finished before then, but probably not. And next month's stuff is going to be, from what I've seen, a Plague Lord and some Terminators. I think it's Festus the Plague Lord, I think his name is. Chaos Lord in Terminator armour. So that'll be quite cool. Give me HQ choice at last, even though I've put that Demon Prince with the Death Guard army. They still need a proper Death Guard HQ choice. So and the Terminators will be quite nice to paint, I think. We'll see. But I've got what have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4 more models of my Death Guard to actually get painted. So yeah, I'll jump on them. Probably once I get these Blood Angels done, these 5, jump onto some more Death Guard stuff. Which I actually want to paint the Demon Prince, so I might paint that next. Although I was considering doing a bit of conversion work on him, even though he's spray painted already. I was thinking of nurgling him up a little bit. Or just paint him as he is. I don't know. Yeah, so I was at the club on Monday. It wasn't last night. Normally I do these on Tuesdays, so it feels like I'm not always doing it the day after the club. But I've put this off this week, so I haven't been feeling well. So I run someone through a bit of an intro half of Blood Bowl, which was, I think he was picking it up, but he wants another game, so that's cool. Didn't play anything else apart from I had a bit of a chat with a few people, which was cool. See, that's the good thing about my club, our club, sorry, is you can go down and not game, but you can sit and chat to people. Everyone's really friendly. Well, almost everyone's really friendly. So yeah, so it's a good social thing as well, and I think I needed that a little bit after Christmas and basically staying in the house for 2 weeks. So I think it done me good. So I've been a bit of a hermit the past few weeks. I've just not been in the mood to do anything really. And that's why I know that I've got to start thinking about getting back to work and stuff. And I think for now, the agency work might be the right thing to do. So that I'm not committed to a contract as such. If I need the time away, I can take the time away without losing my job. So yeah, I think it might be the best thing to do. Because like I've said before, I think that my parents are looking at moving away anyway, and they still are. So me having a full-time job, if they decide to move in the next 6-8 months or whatever, then I'll be quitting my job anyway, because I've got to go with them. I've got no choice. I can't afford a place of my own. I can't really afford to rent by myself either, since renting in London is ridiculous. So yeah, it's like I said, it's probably best if I do temp work for a little while. I've done it before, I can handle it. And I'm controlling my money quite well, so I'm not going out spending money, because I'm not going out, so it's I'm not running out of money fast or anything like that. I mean, I've still got my vouchers from Christmas for Games Workshop, so I haven't even been up there. But that might change in the next week or so, who knows. Because I promised myself that I wasn't gonna buy more than I painted this year. So I've painted 22. So in theory, I could buy 22 models. But I've got an idea of some stuff that I would actually like, but I might leave it till I go up to Warhammer World at the beginning of February and get it up there. Well, then again, it means carrying it around with me for most of a weekend. I don't know, we'll see. So yeah, this is just me covering the Blood Angels in Mephiston Reddit as per usual. I mean, it's what I do, how I paint my Blood Angels now. It's much better than the old way that I used to paint them. It used to take me forever to paint Blood Angels back then. And as much as it's a more controlled way that I used to do them, it doesn't give very different results, so it makes sense to go with a quicker way. So yeah, I am. And Warhammer TV, they actually put up a how to paint Blood Angels quickly video on YouTube earlier this week. I can't remember what day it was, and to me they look really dark. Like, Blood Angels should be quite bright. I've always thought Blood Angels are quite a bright red, and they look really dark, and I was like, I don't think I'll paint them that way. It's a lot of dry brushing, and it sometimes gives it a bit of a grainy look when you dry brush too much. So I'll carry on doing it the way I do it. It works for me, so. And plus, I want to get this Battle Company finished, so I don't want to get disheartened by trying a different technique on some models and realising it's not the way I want to do, and then it putting me off painting them. So I'm going to carry on with the way I want to do it. I mean, with my Death Guard, they are basically painted how they've said about painting them in the Conquest magazine. Not exactly. I've altered it a little bit. Added my own little bit of flair into it, mainly by giving the pus nodules, should we say, a yellow glaze. It gives it quite a about to rupture sort of look, which I quite like. So let's jump into doing their backpacks. I actually had trouble with this backpack. This is the Sergeant's one, which I thought I'd lost it. It turned out I hadn't at all, so I put it in my bits box for some weird reason. But it's back now, and it's getting some paint on it. This actually didn't get sprayed Mephiston red. This was sprayed the old Blood Angels mixed colour that I used to use, which was blood red and dark flesh. I used to get a pot of each and mix it together, make 2 pots of Blood Angel base coat. And with it being impossible to get them colours now, it seemed a bit silly to continue painting using them colours, so I've gone on to a different colour scheme, as I've said. But I should have a game with my Cow Space Marines on Monday. This Monday coming. We've got an Apocalypse game coming up where I'm using my Necrons because I want to field a mostly painted army. It won't be fully painted, but it'll be mostly painted. And it's a lot more painted than my Chaos Marines, so. But that's a month away yet, so. In theory I could get some more Chaos Space Marines painted, but I may be too busy doing with these guys, to be honest. Blood Angels and my Death Guard. Death Guard are strictly speaking Chaos Space Marines, but they're not my Black Legion that I was building and painting. Because Black Legion are going to have, I'm pretty sure they're going to get their codex coming out in March, which would be nice. Hopefully a load of new models, but who knows. Right, so that's the Mephiston red on all the Marines and the backpacks. You might notice I've only got 4 backpacks because I painted one already. When I painted the other 5 for the squad, I had how you see with these cork things that I had 6 backpacks, which I painted all 6. So one of them is fully done. Right, so I clean the palette. I'm going to do a little bit of work on these weapons just while the Mephiston red dries. So for that we need some lead belcher and some Avalon black. And we should actually, let's get the null oil out as well. So start with lead belcher. And I think I've said this before. I noticed a lot of my paints seem to be running out. Lead belcher is one of them, which the pot never stays open. Yeah, lead belcher's one. My flesh colours seem to be all running out. I need to actually look through what paints I've got spare, because my drawer shelf here has got paints on it. This book box behind my paint station has got paints in it as well. So I need to actually go through and find out what I've got and what I haven't got, what I need and what I don't need. So what I'm probably going to do is grab a book and make a list. I like lists. I'm a bit weird like that. I've actually got on my laptop, which is what the camera's standing on, a list of most of my armies, because I haven't updated it in a while, and how far painted they are and stuff like that. And I like to update it every now and then, but I haven't updated the actual models for a while, so I might do that soon. But then I've still got bolters come off. Yep, that fell on the floor. Oh, my blue tack's turning into rubbish as well. Nope, there it is. So yeah, I'm need to get some new paints, and I'm sticking with Citadel paints because they're the ones I like. So that's what I do. Now what I tend to do with these weapons, when I've got them blue tacked on like this, is I paint the most of the side that I can see. So like paint the silver on it, and then I'll go over the black, clean the black up, and then edge highlight the black. And then I stick the weapon onto the model, and then I paint the other side. It seems to work for me, so again, doing what works and sticking to it. So the only thing you have to make sure is when you go from gluing to painting, that you leave it sufficient time for the glue to dry, because you end up with gluey paintbrushes then, and that just destroys them. So you don't want that, especially I've got Winsor Newton brushes, they're kind of expensive. So that's them two. Already up to that. And all I do with these is I paint lead belcher, and then I shade it with Nuln Oil, and then I go over the Abaddon black to just solidify the black colour, and then edge highlight it with etching grey, and that's the black done. I know with some colours I will do 2 or 3 highlights, but not with black. The more highlights you do with black, the more grey it looks. So just the one edge highlight is all it needs, really. And then I'm actually considering, I was going through my old boxes of games, what was it, at the weekend I think it was, so I said to a guy at the club that I think I might have some of the bits he's looking for, but it turns out I haven't. But I came across my Deathwatch stuff from I can't remember what it's called, the game where the Deathwatch come in it. And I was thinking, well, I could get them painted, because painting black's quite easy. So I may get them done. Start a little Deathwatch force. Maybe. But I've always been, I don't like the idea of Deathwatch being a full army. Right? It should be a little like patrol detachment, so you got like one troop, one HQ supporting a Space Marine force or an Imperial Guard force or something like that. And I quite like the idea of that. So it's something I might look into, but that's a way off. And I've got a lot of Black Marines to paint anyway, with my Black Legion and my Death Company, so we'll see. So it's getting on for, it's 2:10 now. I can't remember what time I started. I have no idea. So I'm going to give it another 20 minutes or so. all I'm going to do is I'm going to give these guys a layer of their Evil Sun Scarlet. This might be a shorter video than usual purely because I'm not feeling too good. Evil Sun Scarlet is another colour that I need a replacement pot of because I'm quite low on it, and I know I haven't got a spare one of this. Put some on a palette, like that's a bit more. There we go. A little bit of water. Okay, clean that brush. Right, and back onto the big brush again. This is the thing I quite like about doing this method is you've got 2 layers of it. Is you're not worried about being too messy. So you're literally just doing all over paints, which is fine. And then you've got one layer of shading, which is recessed shading, and then it's tidying up the Evil Sun Scarlet, which is a little bit slower, and then it's dry brushing and glaze. So a lot of this is not being too careful about how you put the paint. So yeah, that's why I quite like it. The old method was very precise painting, and yeah, it took forever. So yeah, so like I was saying, I started painting one of my rhinos, and it's come out a bit different to how I wanted it to. I mean, the colours look fine, the glaze not so much. It's a bit it just looks a bit weird. In certain lights it looks a bit weird. So I may have to do something a bit different with it. But I don't know. We'll see. So that's the sergeant. This guy's supposed to be the guy with the flamer. I actually noticed when I was getting these guys out of their case, this Marine is really quite old. His legs have got really small knee pads, which marks him out as quite an old Space Marine, I believe. But that's okay, because once he's painted, it won't matter. But yeah, he's got slightly, I'd say his legs are straighter than a current Space Marine's got legs. But then they're not doing normal Space Marines anymore, are they? Excuse me. Be really surprised if you see another normal Space Marine released again. Which they should carry on releasing them, because there's still going to be some chapters who are going to be normal Marines and have their ways of implanting the gene seed is still going to be the old way, so it's going to be a normal Marine instead of a Primaris Marine. But it looks more and more like they're phasing out the old Marines, which, if they do that, they'll be getting rid of the Rhinos as well, and the Razorbacks. Stuff like the Storm Raven will lose its transport capacity because it can't carry Primaris Marines for some stupid reason. But people generally in 40k, they don't really use transports now, because the risk of losing troops inside is way too high now. Just on the roll of a 1, a guy dies. Doesn't matter how many wounds he's got, doesn't matter what save he's got. So if you have a squad of 10 in a vehicle and you've got a really bad roll and you roll 4 1s, you lose 4 guys. So, and that could be 4 normal Marines, it could be 4 Terminators, it could be 4 Orc Knobs. You know, it's not good. The system went too far the other way. Like in 7th edition, basically what happened was, if a vehicle was wrecked or exploded, you took however many strength 4 hits, depending on how many were in the vehicle. So if there was 10 in there, you take 10 strength 4 hits. If you're Space Marines, they only wound you on 4s, and then you get your armor save. So you, generally speaking, you didn't lose a lot to vehicles. And then your opponent had to actually blow the vehicle up. Just destroying it wasn't enough. But now, just taking this last wound off a vehicle is enough to cause you to lose guys, and it's a bit. You don't get people really fielding transports anymore. I mean, stuff like drop pods. No, I don't see anyone fielding drop pods because they're stupidly expensive for what they do. And Rhinos. The fact that they've got 1 Stormbolter and a transport capacity of 10, for some reason makes them quite useful, apparently, according to Games Workshop, but nah. Now I would field Rhinos because it's the fluff for my Blood Angels army. It's the company that use Rhino Rush and armour transports and stuff like that. But in game terms, like rules wise, you really don't want guys in vehicles if you can help it. I mean, I've watched quite a few battle reports on Mini Wargaming. I don't see anyone on there using transport vehicles, so yeah, so our new Blood Bowl League is, what, 3 or 4 weeks away now. We're going to kick off. I was trying to work out how I could get my whole team back. I don't think I can though. So I've got to choose which ones to drop. And I'm thinking about dropping the Chaos Warrior who has one of my Chaos Warriors who just has block, and then trying to get him block as quickly as possible when I start the new team. I mean, it shouldn't be too hard. If I put him up for man of the match every match, then he should get it fairly quickly. But there's your chance. There's of course the chance that he might never get it. But there you go. So we're just getting some more Evil Sun Scarlet because I've run out. Got one more Marine and the 4 backpacks to do, so. And then I'll call the video there, I think. So I can start uploading it and stuff. I need to probably clean my brushes again as well. Some of them are starting to fray a little bit. So yeah, it's quite good. I mean, I've been watching Mini Wargamer J. He's pushing himself to get his orcs finished, I mean, with orcs, that's a lot of models, and I've got a lot of Blood Angels. Don't get me wrong, but pushing to get my battle company finished is going to be quite a big achievement for me once I get there. And it's in sight now, it's not far away. So like I said, 10 tactical marines after these guys. And the chaplain, and I'm done. I mean, potentially I could get the battle company finished by the end of the month. I won't, but I could. The chaplain is the only one he needs spray painting. He's not even undercoated yet. But he's simple. He's just be sprayed black. Excuse me, and then he's going to be painted black. Then I can start edge highlighting him. So quite a simple paint scheme for a chaplain. Like I said, black Space Marines, they're quite simple to do. And then on to the backpacks. Now, I know a lot of these guys, these backpacks, and some of the Marines have got mould lines on them. Quite frankly, tough. These are old models. These were built when I was early 20s. So some of these models are like 15 years old, maybe a bit more. And they were put together when I was a bit less bothered about mould lines and joins and stuff like that. My OCD wasn't as vicious as it is now. So yeah, it's but getting them finished is what's important. I mean, clean them up. I don't want to go back and start cleaning them up now that I've got them painted, started to get them painted. So, and they'll still look pretty good, even with some mould lines on them. They'll still look fine. Last one. Put that. And I've always been one for painting the backpacks separate from the actual Marine themselves. I know I haven't done that with my Death Guard, but I may do with future Death Guard models. Who knows? But those easy build ones, they're not even glued together, they're just pushed together. So yeah, so that's that. That's all the Marines base coated and first layered. The next stage will be Evil Sun Scarlet, not Evil Sun Scarlet, sorry, Agrax Earth Shade, Recess Shade, and then it's re-establish the Evil Sun Scarlet and then Edge Highlight and glaze, and it's done. And that's all their armour. But I'm going to finish the video there. It may be a little bit shorter than normal, but like I said, I'm not feeling 100%, so I just want to get some paint, get some music on, carry on painting, and sing along. Why not? Sing along and paint along with Big Friendly Wargamer. But thank you for listening and watching. I will catch you again same time next week. Bye bye.